Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, and we're back with another episode. And we're joined by the lovely Amber. Amber by the sea, everybody.
That's
She just
me.
came out the ocean.
I did.
And
My tail disappeared.
magically, she has her Sunday best on. She's going to praise the Lord. And that devilish outfit you got on. It's a little tight for the church, honey.
What do you mean? It's nice. I thought it was.
It's all good. It's all good. We're here. It's a celebration of life. It's a celebration of friends, and it's a celebration of loyalty. What does it mean? What does it mean to be loyal in 2024?
Well, it's lately. It's not.
That's a very scarce thing. I feel. I've had my share of fly-by-night friends. So-called friends.
I have a very small group of friends right now because I cut a lot of people off.
She's cutting people off, man. That's what they all do. They cut them off. Mm-hmm. I think I just gradually just let go of people. I haven't cut people off. I think a lot of them just kind of fall off, especially when you're going in a different direction in your life.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to be associated with certain things and energies. So people just kind of gradually disappear.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily cut people off. Cutting people off is meaning that I just don't fuck with you at all and you're gone. But there's people that I'm still cool with. I'm not cool with the things they're probably doing, or maybe we're just in just two different worlds.
Yeah, you just grow apart.
Yeah, you grow apart. But I'm like, if they ever reach out or they want to talk, I'm always open and happy to hear from them and, speak with them. But, when you're going in a different direction, a lot of people just kind of, they just look different to you,
Yeah.
They look different. But I've had my sheer play of so-called friends that were in and out of my life that I thought were somebody. But I think that's just part of life, We're going to go through those changes. You become friends with people, and then, of course,
Become friends by the season.
you got seasonal friends. You got friends that stick by you from day one, and then you got I kind of I've grown to figure out how this whole friend thing works. So I have a gauge of I would say a table of an index table of how I view friends, right? So you got, acquaintances, obviously, people within your industry or work, right? That and you're just friendly with them, you're cool with them, you see, you small talk, those kinds of things, you have acquaintances. Then you have, your work friends, people that are just, you're friends with them because of a certain thing.
Yeah.
You might be into the same music, or you're in the same little circle, and then you guys all hanging out. Yeah, let's hang out together. Let's have a drink together. I'll call them. Yeah, they're social work friends. Then you got your besties. Obviously, your day ones that they're there with you. They see every problem, every obstacle you face. They're they're almost like a backbone, right? And then you got these friends that come into your life, and they're friends, but it starts out really heavy, and they're obsessive, and you guys are doing everything together. You guys are hanging out together. It becomes they're almost like a drug.
Yeah.
And then they're doing everything with you. I've seen this happen a lot of times.
That's the clingy friend, the clingy one.
And they're doing everything with you, and then just one thing that you disagree with, or one thing that goes south, they're gone, and it's like an extreme of friendship and an extreme of hate.
Yeah. I think also from after I had, I started growing and healing, I think I started to shed a lot of friends as well, because they just didn't vibrate at the same frequency as me.
Yeah.
So I have one of my good friends that we don't talk all the time, and And she just, it's the strangest thing, because a lot of times if I'm hurting or if I'm feeling something, I won't like call anyone. I'll just kind of be like at home to myself, crying, having an episode.
She's like a caterpillar, like in a cocoon.
Yeah, but it's so wild, because every time that happens to me, this friend of mine, it's like she knows. She'll call me and when I tell you, when I'm deep into that, she just knows every single time. She calls me and she's like, "Are you okay? What's going on?"
That's like a kindred spirit,
like
someone that really kind of knows. I have friends that let me just tap in with them, see what's going on. You get this intuition, because there's certain patterns. Like if I'm used to hearing from you, or I'm used to seeing you post, or I'm used to seeing you doing certain things, and then all of a sudden you just go cold turkey and disappear like you got abducted by aliens. Now I'm like, okay, let me just send her a little courtesy text, or like send her a voice note to see how she's doing. Yeah. Just to kind of check, we all go through our own challenges and things, I go through challenges all the time, but I go through it a little differently. I just try to keep as busy and as productive as possible. Some people, they'll go and lay in bed for 24 hours and not do anything. So, I was like, everyone copes differently. Yeah. But I've had friends, man, it's kind of disappointing, and I've had this happen to me recently. I've had people that were in my life, but they were never really for me. It was for what I could provide for them. Yeah. Whether it's the environment, girls, fun. But they never really liked me as the person. They liked the things that I was doing. Yeah. Have you ever experienced any of that growing up, or even in later in your adult years, where you just had this one friend and they might have just used you for your resources or the people around you, and then when they got what they needed, they just dipped? I mean, it might be different for a female.
Yeah, I don't know if I've had that with a friend before. Mine was more like when I was in a relationship, that it ended up having that they talking behind my back, like in
secret. Gotcha.
Yeah, like who I was with. That's kind of more what I've dealt with, and I've dealt with that with like the 3 serious relationships that I had. With my ex, with my daughter's father, and then with the relationship I had before that one as well. So I don't know if it's some type of like karmic thing.
I mean, when you say karmic, did you do that with somebody else?
No.
Okay, so it wouldn't be karmic. I think maybe it's just
maybe in another life.
Who knows? It needs there needs to be a lesson learned, and that had to happen to you 3 times. So maybe you didn't learn from those first 2 situations. Yeah, don't bring your chicks around your man. Nope. You know what I'm saying? But that's a lack of...
I think that's why now I don't really have that many friends.
But that's a lack of discipline on the guy's end.
Of course.
Because as fine as my ex was, she had some nice looking friends. I never once really thought about anything with her friends. No. It's just... and they couldn't come to me and be like on some other type of stuff. It's because they knew the type of man I was. I wasn't on that time. So I think if a woman sees weakness in a man, and lust is definitely a big weakness, they could attack, You could tell when a man has lustful eyes or not.
Well, and when I think of it now, in those 3 serious relationships that I was in, I never fully felt like I could trust them, because I could see the way, like one of them would be, I would go out and I would just see the way that they would just stare at other girls.
Like a man that has lust in their eyes.
Wandering eyes, you know what I mean? Like,
there's a difference. Like, if I'm with my chick, or I usually date women that are a little bit more open, so they're into like, some of the girls that I've been with are into like other females. So they'll be like, "Oh my God, look at that girl's ass. She's got a juicy ass." And I'm like, "Yeah, she's got a nice ass." If she's the one that's pushing that agenda, I'm just gonna be cheering her on. I'm not gonna be like pointing out a girl to her. I'm gonna be like, "Oh yeah, she got a nice ass. Maybe just as nice as yours, maybe." but not quite. You know, I never make my woman feel less than the other woman she might be admiring.
And like, has it ever happened that any of them, like your exes or whatever, went through your phone, or you just but you never really had anything?
Well, I don't have anything to hide.
Yeah.
You know, I show my hand. You know, my phone is quite perverted. So whoever goes into my phone, there's some viewer discretion advised. If you go into my phone, you're going to be seeing something you might not want to see. So I warn girls, like, listen, you go on my phone, all bets are off. Like, you'll be seeing every wild thing I've done.
Yeah.
But I don't care, because I rather show you what I've done than someone, oh, he did this. Do you know about? Oh, yeah, no, I've seen everything.
You know, I'm not the type of person to go through someone's phone, but once you already ask me, then I mean, it's
I don't want to go through.
I don't want to go through. I personally, I want to be able to trust who I'm with.
If I have to even think about going through your phone, then you're not the one for me.
Nope, at all.
If I have the thoughts in my mind to go through your phone, then there's no trust.
Nope.
So I don't need to go through your phone. I'd rather show you what I'm doing.
Yeah, that was one thing that
I've never been in a chick's phone.
I had that with my last relationship. He would always like want to go through my phone.
Even if she was flirting with a guy, I don't want to know, man. Yeah. Like I just don't want to know. Like that song, I don't want to know if you're playing me. Keep it on the low.
I think that's one of the reasons why, because I have men that DM me, you know what I mean? But I don't really interact with it, but some of the things that they say and everything, and he was just very crazy with, you know, like anything. Like I don't know. It was a very toxic relationship.
Yeah, like you know, every time this young lady wanted to get body painted,
oh no, he would not let me do that.
It took 3 years for that to happen, buddy.
He was like, absolutely not. No, even my relationship before that, like he was like, oh hell, because I would always see it, and I was like, oh, I want to do that, and he was, oh hell no.
Hey, look, listen, you know, I've had boyfriends, husbands reach out to me to get their girl painted or get their wife painted. So, you know, my intention for what I do is
secure of themselves.
Yeah,
I feel like a man that is like that, and you know, they're more secure than a man that's not gonna let his girl do something like that. Like,
I think,
or were they there, or they weren't there?
I just think you have to have a level of confidence in yourself as a man for your woman to be body painted by me. Because if you look at my stories and the way I am, you definitely got to have some secure mindset of yourself,
for
right?
Sure, 100%.
I'm not here to steal nobody's woman. I'm not here to do anything like that. I'm a professional. My job is to execute a professional photo shoot to make that person feel good in their skin, to give them something new, a brand new experience that they'll never forget. I'm not in it for no perverted reason, because I wouldn't be as good as I am if it wasn't for the craftsmanship and the art that I put in. It's a lot of work. You know it.
Yeah. I know.
It's very difficult. It's not an easy task.
For a while.
So for me to do this on some type of perversion, I wouldn't be successful. But of course, obviously, people don't understand that, and they think it's for some other reason. But there's a lot of photographers out there. I'm not gonna say who, but yeah, they're doing it for those types of ambitions.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, going through your partner's phone, doing all these things, if you got to think about doing that, then that relationship is automatically doomed. Mm-hmm. Straight up. Another thing, too, what I've noticed is when you go into therapy sessions with your man or your husband, that relationship is going to be doomed.
Why?
It never works out. Most couples that go through therapy sessions is just doomed.
I don't believe that. There's been relationships saved because of it.
Yes, a small percentage, but I said most. Okay, so the statistics don't lie.
So I'm sure sometimes there's therapists, when they go in there and they hear them talk, they're like, you know what, this relationship is just not going to work.
It's because, okay, this is what happens in therapy sessions. One person always feels that the therapist is siding with the other. They always feel, especially if that person is in the wrong, they always feel like there's two people here that are against me.
Yeah.
You're going to have a portion of couples that come in and they never truly feel that the therapist is there for them. They feel like the therapist is there to back that other person up and reinforce certain things. So there's that dynamic there.
Well, honestly, I think also when it comes to therapy, both of the people that are in the relationship have to both want the relationship to work.
Yeah.
Because you can have a relationship that, you know, like it happened with me with my daughter's father. I wanted to go to a therapist to talk, and
if the woman initiates the therapy session and you don't, it's doomed.
Yeah.
It's doomed.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Unless both sides are open and wanting to do it, I feel like if it's just one person and not the other, it's just not going to work out because, you know, that person's always still going to always have.
If you got to drag me to therapy, that means I'm hard of hearing when it comes to listening to you.
Yeah.
And I need another person who I have to pay, who I have to literally pay to state their opinions.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting a neutral party to help, but if you can't work that out with your partner, man.
I think it only works when both want it to work. Because if one wants it to work and the other one doesn't, it's not going to work.
I did the therapy thing one time, and it was silly. You know, I did it. I never really had an issue. I think there was some trust things in the beginning. I don't know if it was trust things, but it was lack. They said my partner at the time, she was like, I don't feel like you put me as a priority. So I said, hey, well, we don't need to go to therapy for me to know that I need to put you as like priority. What is it that you need from me that I could do?
What's her love language?
You know, where you feel like a priority. She's like, well, don't pick up your phone on the weekends when we're together. Like, leave business out of it. Like, let's dedicate this time to me. Like, she taught me how to, like, turn my phone off when we're together. Don't text. Don't, like, put your business on hold for just one day.
Yeah.
And
that honestly, that is such a big thing.
And I said, okay.
That's attention that, you know, like you want to be able to have that person that you're with. You want their full attention.
Yeah.
You don't want to go, or especially like I said on another podcast that we had, is going on a date that the person is on their phone the whole time. And instead of, engaging with you, it doesn't make the other person feel good when they're on the phone the whole time.
Yeah. And, you know.
It recently happened on another date.
You and your dates, man.
I'm done. I am done dating.
You've had more dates than Jennifer Lopez.
I'm just honestly like I'm done with the dating and I just want to focus on me and my healing, and that's it. Like I don't need any more distractions.
Yeah. So you're distracting the churchgoers with that outfit. That's for sure. Well, you know, look, it comes down to discipline, dedication. When two people come together, have that conversation. If you guys can't work it out, it's just not meant to be. I don't think I need therapy for me to know that. You know, it's just beating a dead horse.
For sure.
It's just, it ain't moving. It ain't going nowhere. It's just going to stay the way it is. So just try to establish boundaries and things with your partner that they're, okay, look, when we're together, I don't want you messaging or being on Instagram or doing all that stuff. Let's just focus on what we got going on for 24 hours. Cool, no problem. Let me just turn my phone off. Let's just spend this time together. No telephones, nothing, unless it's an emergency.
I personally feel like if I met the right person, that, you know, I would be very open to not even having social media anymore.
No, I don't think that's necessary. I don't want to put shackles on a person. I like my women. If I met you that way, I should be confident enough to carry that relationship through with you having your social media. That's how I met you.
I guess it depends on how the social media is. If how I was posting sexier things and all of that.
Right.
Honestly, I want to start to like steer away from.
You know what's crazy? I started I was starting to find myself being attracted to baristas and store clerks, and I don't know. Like I'm going to like get my food, and I'm attracted to like the waitress, or like I find them very, I don't know, just regular everyday working
Yeah.
women. Like I
Yeah.
find them so sexy. I don't know, and they're just regular, and I'm just looking at them, and it's like a certain purity to them. Like I'm like, wow, like she's just working hard,
Yeah.
and she's pretty doing it. Like I just look at them, and they're not looking for no type of validation. They're just working. They're just trying to make their money. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I found that attractive. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I'm so used to dealing with models all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm now finding I'm attracted to the opposite of what I think is beauty.
Yep.
And you know, it's just a thing.
I
But
think that's it's the same way I feel as far as my attraction for who I
Yeah.
like. I'm with. Like I'm not, maybe 20-year-old me had a certain mind frame than the 30s that I have now. You know, it's
I
just
mean,
it's totally different.
how old are you gonna be?
I'll be 37.
God damn. Oh wow. Really?
37, April 20th.
420.
420.
Smoke a stogie for that one. You know, smoke a fat stogie. 420, baby. What? 3 more years till 40?
I know
My
that's
God.
that'll be a big birthday.
Oh my God, 40 years old.
I know.
I ain't gonna lie. I dated a couple 40-year-olds. Best pussy I ever had in my life. I ain't gonna lie to you. 40-year-old pussy is the best type. It's well maintained, well seasoned. It's not been, well, they're not, you know, they're a little bit more conservative with their partners as they age, and they're not out there in the clubs. If you see a 40-year-old woman at the club, just don't ever speak to her again. Just pretend she doesn't exist, because she has no reason to be at the club. I'll tell you right now. If you're 40 and still at the club and you're a 40-year-old woman, stop it immediately. Go to the library or something.
The library.
Learn how to
the park.
go to the park.
Go to the beach. I
Go
love the
learn
beach.
how to paint. Do something else. You know, you're at the
Gotta find better hobbies, right?
yeah. Leave the partying to the 21 to maybe 33-year-olds. And I'm pushing it with 33. I think once a woman hits about 30, she should be thinking about, hey, I gotta have kids. I need to get married. I need to get my shit together. Just like men, you can't be up in the club at 40 years old trying to, you know, like your priorities got to be a little different, man. So everyone's different, but I'm just saying, you know, once you hit those I would say pinnacle years of your life, if you haven't woken up by the time you're 35 to about 38, 39, I feel bad for you, because it ain't going to get any easier.
Yeah.
And it's harder to date and meet quality people. So you got to start changing your mindset early.
Definitely.
You know, the quicker you have you get ahead, the more advantages you have in the dating marketplace. Or if
And plus, not only that, you don't want to be reaching that age and you're still partying and drinking like that.
No,
feel
that means you haven't
it
healed.
definitely
That
ages you faster, too.
It's going to age you faster. You haven't elevated. You haven't evolved.
Yeah.
And your company you keep is just it's. I don't mind having a nice, fun, spontaneous woman that is a free spirit and that is an adventurer. That's cool. That's a personality trait.
Yeah.
I'm not saying change your personality.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is there's certain habits that if you don't fix, it's like you age out of certain things.
Yeah.
You know, certain things you haven't evolved. So, especially for a woman, I don't think a woman should be at the club at 40 years old.
Yeah.
You know, there's a difference between going to a banquet, going to an event, going to something of status and
Yeah. Or, I mean, maybe if you're celebrating a friend's birthday, like
well,
that
yeah,
once in a blue
an
moon.
event. But I'm saying if you're out here, you know, with
Every
a mini skirt
weekend.
on, and you're here with your other lonely friends that are miserable, trying to catch a guy, it's not gonna happen.
Listen, and the worst, I think that trying to meeting a guy in the club is like the worst. I don't want to say much, but the 3 serious relationships, that's how I met them all. Like,
I mean,
I want to try something different.
You met what was in your environment, just like how I might quote unquote date certain women within my environment, which is models.
Yeah.
I'm used to working with those types of women, so I have easy access to them. For me to go date a regular woman, I would have to go outside my comfort zone.
The grocery store, the beach,
but it's kind of different
the
because
park.
women are like, okay, there's two places I do not ever want to meet a woman. First of all, where I live in my complex, no. Second,
you don't shit where you eat,
exactly.
right?
Because you don't know what type of woman you get. You could be the worst stalker bitch of all time, and you're living in that complex. Secondly, it's very tempting, but don't date people at the gym that you go to.
Oh yeah,
that's number one. I see so many beautiful women go in and out, but the gym is like my church. I go there to mentally work myself into a certain motion. I don't want to go to the gym knowing I might bump into this girl that I spoke to or dated or whatever. I don't want that feeling.
Yeah.
I've known some women that have dated guys from the gym and they still go to the gym and they've broken up in a bad way, and you got to go and do your set and you see this motherfucker there that broke your heart.
Yeah.
I mean, it might motivate you to go heavier on your set, but
definitely, I think when you separate, it's definitely motivation in the gym.
Yeah, I've been angry working out. So I actually have been angry having sex too.
When I separated in my last relationship, in 2 weeks I lost like 15 pounds in 2 weeks.
Well, you got that metabolism where you can get thick and you can get really small.
Yeah,
you're lucky, and not everybody has that. All it takes is like a 2-week gym session for you, and you're already look like you went to the doctor. Yeah. But long story short, we have to, like I said, once we age and once we mature, there's certain things that need to change, evolve. And I like older women. But I like a refined older woman. I don't want you to be an older woman that act like you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
I find that silly.
Yeah.
Act your age. Act with elegance, grace, and experience.
Yeah.
Don't act like you trying to compete with a 21-year-old or a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
If I want a 25-year-old, I go get one.
Yeah.
I don't want. You know what I'm saying? Why am I gonna get an older version of a 25-year-old? It doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
So when I look to a woman maybe closer to my age, I look for elegance, I look for experience, and I know a woman closer to my age would be a little bit more loyal.
Yeah.
And they've been through it.
Yeah.
So they know, okay, this man that's giving me his time, I want to show him that I value his time as well. You see, when you're 25, you don't necessarily value time because you feel like you're invincible and you feel like you have all this time, and the sexual marketplace for a female at 25 caters to you. So you got all kinds of guys coming after you. You got the 60-year-old, 50-year-old, 40-year-old, 30-year-old men all trying to buy your attention, and you got the young 25-year-olds trying to get with you.
But I even feel like now, like for a lot of men or young men, that in their mind it's just sex. Like they don't know that. For a woman's body, you gotta awaken it and like.
Well, you have to understand too. A lot of these men don't
go straight into having sex.
But hold on, there's like a lot of things. Lack of education when it comes to men. They don't understand how women really work. That's a lack of education. Second, they're young men with hormones and they just want to fuck. Like that's just that's what they're programmed for. So when you're dating a more refined man that has experience, that's established, he's looking for something with more substance because he has a lot going on for himself.
Yeah.
So the standards and practices that he has is going to be way different from what a 25-year-old male is thinking about, or even a 30-year-old man.
Another reason why it's better to just be in a relationship and be with one person instead of messing around with other people, because at the end of the day, when you're with one person, you're able to read their body and learn their body and know.
It's great.
As opposed to when you're just randomly being with different people.
I recommend guys Be with as much women as possible.
What?
All right? Trust me on this. Once you get a tally of what you want and what you like, what you're into, you're going to pick the right one for you.
But why put all those different energies into your body?
Men are different.
I guess.
Men can consume. Women absorb. They absorb energy. You're opening yourself up to us.
Yeah.
We're entering. We're a guest at an Airbnb. We don't give a shit. We in and out. But you're the house.
Yeah.
So you can't let everybody in the house, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying men don't go through a spiritual trauma too. If you mess with the wrong type of chick, believe me, it's gonna ruin you. But I recommend at least dating a couple of women first, because you're gonna know exactly what your taste is. You're not gonna know, and you're gonna be a little curious to know what is out there. So if you're young, don't try to just go right into a relationship right away. Try to date around a little bit. You're gonna get more mature. You're gonna understand how the female mind works, and you're gonna find what's suited for you. And a lot of men shouldn't even be in certain relationships at the age they're at because they're not financially mature to handle a woman and provide. They're not spiritually evolved or mentally mature. So young men, go out there, do what you got to do. But once you hit about 30, that's when you should be really elevating yourself and your status and who you are as a man and what you are and where you want to go. So by the time you hit 35, you're gonna find the right one that's suited for you where you are. Even when you hit 33, I say anywhere from 30 to 35, you're gonna really know who you are as a man.
Yeah.
You're going to be refined. And then you can start picking the right partner that suits your lifestyle and who you are, the type of person you've evolved into. That's just from my personal experience. Now, everybody's different. There's some people that are soulmates from teenagers.
I know.
And then they live perfectly normal lives. I mean, not everybody can have that happy ending.
Not everybody gets to meet.
That's amazing.
I think it's beautiful.
That's awesome. Yeah. You're being with the one person you laid eyes on for the first time and having that connection.
Wow.
I feel that their spirits are pure.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't been tainted by heartbreak, betrayal, all these other elements that came in from other people. Sometimes you walk around with that baggage.
Yeah.
So because you didn't do the proper cleansing to get rid of that.
Yeah.
You bringing it into the next relationship.
Yep.
Because when you didn't have that time to heal,
Nope.
you brought it into the next. You brought the insecurities and the pain from one thing to the next thing.
Yep.
So it transferred. It wasn't just the male. It was also you.
Of course, I know, and I knew that. And I said, at the time, I said, I just got out of this 13-year relationship. I need time for myself. And he just was like, no, you're gonna be my girl.
Well, that was a scarcity tactic because a lot of males, when they find a hot, attractive woman, they tend to want to cling and they tend to want to I just gotta lock this one down. A lot of it has to do with scarcity. Because it's hard for men to find attractive, beautiful, sweet women. So when they find that, they're like, they don't take the time to really get to know that person and see, hey, you might have a couple things you need to work on. Let me give you that space.
Yeah.
Let's still talk, but I feel like you're not there yet.
Yeah.
If they're ready to just snap you up like that without putting in that extra time, that's a red flag for me.
Yeah.
If I'm dating a chick, I gotta know a lot before I make that commitment, because once I'm in, I'm dedicated. I'm not.
Well, listen, what's crazy is that when I had done the ayahuasca and it helped with my jealousy and control, getting rid of it. No, I really did. But then getting into that relationship, it kind of almost brought a lot of that back because he was very controlling and very jealous. I'll never forget one time I was at the gas station and I had the little holder for the phone and I completely forgot my phone in the car. And when I went in the gas station, he was calling me, and he must have called me 10 times. And I get back in the car and I see it, and he was just freaked out, and it gave me so much anxiety. I wasn't even doing anything wrong, but to freak out from me not answering the phone like that, and I don't know. I know now I don't ever want to be in a relationship with someone that's so crazy jealous like that. It puts a toll on me and my anxiety and my nervous system.
Listen, man, look, the perfect chick for me. There's a chick that I can go out, watch a movie with, eat some food, talk about the universe and all kinds of goofy shit, and be content with just being. I'm a homebody. I like being at home, or I like going places, but I don't necessarily need the energy of other people.
Yeah.
Like I can, if it's just you and me, we can talk about a lot of crazy shit. Let's do that. Let's go, or we can go somewhere together and just like vibe. Let's do that. But I don't like when I'm with my woman, I gotta be with a ton of other people.
Yeah.
I kind of like.
I feel you on
I
that
might
one.
be a little selfish just wanting to spend that time with her and those moments with her. But that's the type of relationship I'm into. Like, we just at home on a Sunday, we cooking, we eating, and there's a lot of cheek clapping going on, That's important, number one. And that's it. Because, hey, if I'm going to be dedicating myself to one woman, that's on the menu, number one. That's on the menu.
Yeah.
But it's in a healthy way, and I'm a low maintenance guy, and I usually look for women that are low maintenance when it comes to fulfillment. Like they're happy with the little things.
Yeah.
I'm not saying be cheap with your woman and don't do nothing fun, but if they can be home with you and you can vibe with them and y'all could just have a good time together without all of the fireworks, then that's a keeper. That's someone that you can invest your life with.
Yeah.
Because when you get older, the fireworks don't go off as much. So you got to create and put yourself in a position where you have a long-term investment that's going to stand the test of time. And that's the key. Because, you can have that instant gratification, that fun. Oh, he's so cool. We're doing all these fun things. But eventually, all those fun things are going to run out.
No.
And then you're going to have to really face each other as people. And you're going to be like, what do I really find interesting in you?
No.
Because you can mask it. You can mask interest with a good time with things.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people do. Well, a lot of men that don't have the ability to retain a woman's interest, they'll start masking it with stuff like
Or trips
and this and
I've noticed like times when we had gotten into arguments or whatever, that would be a way of like trying to reel me back in.
It's a mask.
Oh, let's go.
Listen,
here.
the only trip my girl's gonna be making is into the bedroom and the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? The bedroom and the kitchen. That's all she needs.
So funny.
Well, that's it. I want to take her on a trip for her. You're tripping on that bed. Face down, ass up, baby.
Oh my God, you're so funny.
Well, you know what? Words to the wise. Take the time to get to know the woman that you're with or the man that you're with. Leave the baggage behind.
Oh yeah.
Don't bring old things into new things. And remember, work on yourself. Stay woke, folks.
Yep.
That's all the time we have, and we'll see ya on the next one.
Bye.
I'm your host, Fernello, and this is Amber by the Sea.
That's me.
We'll see you next time.